18 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant check. Negative K, nothing further. Negative Sergeant check. 18 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant check. Negative K, nothing further. Just city camp in the corner. 18 Sergeant Central. 19 Sergeant check.
We've got a hold 187.
Officers on the scene.
All right, guys, we're back. We're gonna finish this, okay? We got a couple more theories. Is that what we said?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple more theories here, and we're gonna go there and just finish this up here. So, Sarah, what? Oops, wow. What are some of these theories here?
All right, so kind of theories, but kind of more just like other facts that kind of add in to our case. So the big question on my mind researching, and even while we were in the break, is motive. Why? But some people think that they know, and this is what they think. Jaleayah was extremely intoxicated. She, according to Kristen, now we don't know there whether she's a reliable person, but Kristen said that she had a lot of shots of alcohol.
Gotcha.
Like 16.
Gotcha.
And this, like when I say she's a small girl, I put her weight down. She was about 125 pounds.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she was drunk.
Okay. Okay.
And according also to Kristen's statements, the other girls that were there with them were getting irritated because Jaleayah was so drunk that she was dancing on like one of the girls' ex-boyfriends. She was kind of making a fool out of herself and just very, very intoxicated.
Okay.
That could definitely point to motive to me.
Gotcha.
If there's some jealousy happening with ex-boyfriends, if there's somebody that you're getting irritated with because they won't stop drinking and you're like, just go home, maybe they were fed up. I mean, not to kill someone, but
yeah.
I mean,
well, see, and that's my thing too. It's okay. Let's just say they got irritated. There's jealousy going on, right?
mm-hmm.
That could be kind of a motive, maybe to hurt somebody. Hell, maybe even to kill somebody, right? But to the point that she was, because we've talked about this on the show, overkill.
Mm-hmm.
This was an overkill, murder. Like, I don't know about you guys. I'm just gonna call it murder.
Right.
This is an overkill murder here, and it's gotta have. I think it has to have some. It's got to have something like that, something fueling that. But it's got to be a little more. What if she was like popular in school or something?
Or pretty, or I don't know.
If she's mixed babies are the cutest babies.
I do have to agree with that one.
Yep. There it is. She was a mixed baby, got too drunk, was flirting with another girl's ex-boyfriend, and the guy was falling for her. Boom, motive. We saw the case. Well, we saw the motive.
So let me ask you this. You believe wholeheartedly that it was like cold, calculated murder. You don't believe there's any accident involved.
I believe that there was a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just things that are too fishy,
The clothes.
Yeah, the clothes, all these stories that are surrounding it. Somebody tried to run him off the road. Where the glass is, the boob and the head, just stuff like that. Because if she still had her head and she still had her boob, and her clothes were not folded up neatly or on the guardrail. You told me that she would have, she got some scrapes and things from the accident and she had a broken leg. I've been like, oh yeah, accident, it's an accident. They talked about she went through the window. She's 125 pounds. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It just sounds like it's murdered me. And they tried to make it look like an accident, or somebody came up with it on the spot where it was like, oh my God, this looks like an accident. And
Yeah.
I just think it's crazy. They didn't find any fingerprints.
Yes.
But here's one thing we're missing too. We know that coroners work with police officers. And if they're trying to hide something, they could slip the coroner a couple bucks in order to say, hey, you don't find anything. You found, you found alcohol. You found this. But fingerprints or anything, you didn't find this.
I think that a large majority of cases that I see that's weird, things like this, where it's like, is it an accident or is this a murder?
Yep.
About 99% of the time, it alludes to a police cover-up. Because things don't just happen weirdly. Like, I mean, there's some weird deaths. I've seen some very weird things, but it matches gravity. It matches the things of the earth. It doesn't, you have to go to an extent.
Yes, that's kind of like Kendrick Johnson case, where we said a lot of the things with that case, it was legit. You know, he's upside down inside of the mat. But the weird thing about that case was his organs were missing. What? If that one little thing, if his organs had been in there, I would have easily went back and said it was an accident. But this weird thing happened. Her head, her boob is missing. If they would have, if those two things were still attached to her body, I would be more than likely to say this was an accident.
Right.
But that's what I'm getting caught up on. The clothes, you know, getting caught up on. Did the clothes have fingerprints on them or something like that? Well, no, they probably would have burned those, but or something like that. But
I do have the some of that here in a minute. But so here's a few more things. There was a few calls made to 911 reporting something was going on in the area. And all of this happened like super fast. And this was a busy highway and there was quite a few people that went by. One 911 report was at 3:41 a.m. The caller said that there was a car parked by the guardrail. He said specifically that there was a man standing around. He could have not seen everything or, you know, I don't know. They could have mistaken it. It was night. This caller was never identified. So this caller could not be used in a criminal case or whatever. A couple other calls were made in, but all of them said that there was like a possible deer in the road. So these people aren't coming up close.
Gotcha.
So here are the things that get me. The doors of the car were locked. That's strange that another person was involved. Because like my theory, if Jaleayah is in the car with Kristen and all of this happened in a panic and why would Kristen lock the car when she left? Why was the car so like parked so almost neatly on the side of the road just there? Like those things kind of just like don't make sense either way. I feel like they don't make sense if it was an accident. They don't make sense if it wasn't.
It could be a stage thing because, you know, Kristen she's the daughter of a police officer. So there might be some things she, I mean, come on, her dad or mother was a police officer. And they bring stuff home, you know, probably told her about cases and things, or she overheard cases and things like that. So she might have thought, this would be, you know, the car parked neatly. I don't understand why they would do that. But because if you want to make it look staged, you want to leave it the way it was.
Right. There were no drugs in her system. Her blood alcohol level was 0.19,
Okay.
more than twice the legal limit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone thinks that she wasn't drunk. I
Yeah.
think they just think it wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
During all this, the police say that her clothes came off in this order and was just hung on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
So they believe that her clothes came off in the accident. That's something like, I don't understand why the bra would be on the bottom at all.
Well, my thing is this. So what was off? Shirt, bra.
Shirt, bra, coat.
Shirt, bra, coat.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe, so if this was a tragic accident or it was murder, and one of these witnesses saw, came up on the scene, called 911, and then saw clothes laying there and was like, oh, and just picked them up. I don't know why they would do that, but like, that makes more sense to me than they came on the accident.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like someone laid them there.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That way, because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yes. I don't know. It don't make too much sense. It don't.
Mm-hmm. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
So police also say there was no clothing fiber, hair, or blood noted on the glass remnants on the passenger side front window. So that glass had no, like, a punch, somebody, hair fibers or blood or anything like that. Or if her head hit it, there was no fibers, no hair, no blood.
Well, it would kind of make a little bit sense because if she hit the guardrail in the accident, if she hit the guardrail first, the window bursted through, then she went through it. I could see that.
Maybe.
I see that happening.
In addition, there was no significant damage noted to the guardrail where the police say the vehicle hit.
Gotcha. Huh.
So nothing at all makes sense. I just don't get it.
I've seen guardrails messed up just by car accidents. Because now this whole time, this story, I'm thinking of it being bent. I'm thinking of the color of the car is on there. You could see where the car hit versus where it ended up. I've just got this whole scene in my head, but now you're telling me there's no damage to the guardrail. How messed up is the passenger side? Now is my question.
To me, it didn't. You can see all the pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm really urging everybody to go see those because I looked at them. When it comes to the guardrail, every blood that I have seen, any indication of anything is on the side of the field. It is not of the side of where the car hit at all.
Okay. So are you thinking that maybe she was taken out and murdered on the flip side of the guardrail?
Maybe. So on the side of the field, those metal, so there's metal, wood, metal.
Yes.
Those metal support beams are sharp.
Yes.
Could someone have, it seems like a gangster movie, like cut her head off on that? Absolutely. Could she have done it in an accident? Absolutely. But just everything together doesn't make sense.
You're going to make me tomorrow morning on my way to work. I'm going to go find some guardrails and I'm going to sit there and I'm just going to run my fingers on the top of it and see how it works. One, it's metal. And if you guys haven't really looked at guardrails before, you've got, like Sarah was explaining, it's kind of the top and bottom of it are kind of curved, kind of like this at the top, So, if it's curved at the top, you could really get somebody's head and just kind of,
Right.
So listen, this case is very video. You gotta watch the video. If you're on Spotify, you gotta watch the video because there's so much I'm doing to try to explain certain stuff. So you gotta watch the video. Um, I think it's possible, but again, I want to go and check out a guardrail, and I want to check out different ones. I want to go see how they look. Are some a little more jagged edge? Are some smooth? How are they all curved? I want to see what they look like and really think, can this happen?
So for Patreon, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take a bunch of video and a bunch of pictures of just guardrails. It'll just be a guardrail trip.
Wouldn't that be great? So we're just like, hey, everybody. So we're doing a little more research on the
or find a guardrail expert. but Jaleayah is her name. Sorry.
Yes, Jaleayah. I don't know why I can't remember her name. But yeah, would you go find a guardrail expert and just
Can you imagine a guy that's like, I am a guardrail expert and I say this can happen.
like, hey man, you think somebody can be decapitated with that? And it's just like,
You'd be like, what are you researching, ma'am?
so now you think that can happen? Okay, now what about a boob? Can right over there and just cut? Okay, now with the boob, it's a real small lady. She's about 125 pounds. She almost as flat as a 12-year-old girl. So what about that? Yeah. And
if you've seen me on the side of the road in Kansas City, mind your business. I'm doing my research. Just honk and wave.
like, hey, there's the Code 187 girl.
Just with my boob over the side. Oh, it's getting too late.
You would definitely get some hits on TikTok.
There we go.
Listen. Oh my gosh. It's so weird.
It is. And we're not making fun, but man, this one, it's like nothing makes sense. You got to make sense of it.
So now let's go right into it where it's like, okay, let's say that we don't believe the guardrail did that, right? So now we go back to the murder. Somebody's jealous, so they don't really like her going on, doing this stuff. You're going to need a pretty good knife, a very sharp knife to one, cut through a chest, and then two, to cut through neck, vein, muscle, and bone to cut a head clean off, And from what I've heard, just listening to serial killer podcasts, it's not something that everyone can do. It is, you need to know how to do it, because we know where there's blood everywhere on the road, so we know where that came from. But yeah, it's a skill. So now you got to think about this person, what the person, did they have a knife? Was this premeditated? Did they know what they were doing? If you think the guardrail did it, go ahead. But I'm a skeptic. I like to dig deep into stuff. So
two theories here while you were talking that I wanted to point out.
Okay.
First, do you think a tractor trailer could have done that? Do you think if she just broke her leg in the wreck and then a tractor trailer ran her over, do you think it could have done all that damage? I don't know. I'd never really researched what a tractor trailer does.
Well, I'm just going off of what you see with animals, right?
Right.
So if you see an animal get hit, like a deer or something get hit, their body, like I said, our body parts are sewn on very tightly and, to where they won't fall off. So I'm thinking if she would have got hit, she wouldn't have got decapitated. Unless she got hit by this truck, right? And she was still alive while the truck is still going over her.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, looks up, and then something on the bottom of the truck.
Right.
Sorry about the sound effects, but just clean off. But
That
it was
sounds like Final Destination.
yes. But you also have to think about it. That truck had to go super fast. The truck driver, they wherever they are now, is
They did
even,
all that. And
yeah,
yeah.
they did all that. They have to live with this story now. You know, they're hearing about
Mhm.
this story in West Virginia. They're like, oh man, that deer I hit last night might have been that girl. You know, there's just like I said, I don't think it could have probably hit, broke her leg, really messed up some stuff. But then we got the head. The head's gone. What about the boob?
True.
Because like I like
It's
we're starting to go down and we're starting to close it up to where stuff is starting to make sense.
mm-hmm.
But
And then it just opens again.
yeah, it just open. Listen, if we could figure out something with that last part with the boob, I'll be like, okay, all right.
We got this.
Everything. We figured out everything.
Right. So here's my other thing.
Okay.
What are the chances? Now, this is just what are the chances, but that Kristen called or whoever called mommy and daddy and they got to that scene before all these witnesses did.
Mm-hmm.
Or heard the call out and came to the scene first, or like that's quick. That's super quick, but like
that would also.
But also, okay, so let me go back in my research because this happened at 3:48.
Okay.
Was the 911 caller that said, "Okay, we have a girl, she's missing her boob, she's missing her head." The other 911 call was at 3:41. So right there, that's what?
We said 3:41, 3:48.
Yeah.
That's about 7 minutes.
7 minutes. But that's after the incident. So
we don't really know how long since the incident happened.
To when whoever showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there could have been a time lapse between the incident occurring and the 911 caller that's big enough for there to be a clean?
I think there could, especially if you get let's say one of the police officers was homicide, or maybe what's this, West Virginia? I don't know how big West Virginia deer is, like deer season is, or anything. But like we said, you do need somebody who's pretty skilled at decapitating. Mm-hmm. Maybe the cutting of the boob was just to make it look like it was a murderer who was practicing something.
Because here I have Jaleayah called her sister at 3:23.
Okay.
So we know she was alive at 3:23, but then dead at 3:48.
That's a lot of time.
And technically, we don't know where they were. Jaleayah did say she wanted to be picked up at I-77, but she could have been right where the murder happened. I don't think she said where she was.
Nope. Sarah, that's 25. That's a 25-minute window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if they killed her right then, let's say that argument just escalated, boom, something happened then. Mm-hmm. They would have enough time. Maybe. It'd be tight.
What if what if Kristen? What if Kristen got to an accident, right? busted the window open or whatever. And
I think I see
Jaleayah,
where you're going.
Jaleayah,
Jaleayah.
Jaleayah. Listen, if there's anybody listening to this that's named Jaleayah, I'm so sorry. Jaleayah. If Jaleayah might have passed out from the alcohol from the accident, Kristen thought she was dead. She calls her dad. Her dad's like, we can't have this. I can't have people thinking that my little girl killed somebody. We got to make it look like a murder. So she, from the accident, her leg's already broken. Maybe he got her out of the car and he put her on the back of the car. And then that's where he started doing stuff, started cutting and everything. And that's where all that blood comes from. And then, of course, you probably had to take. They didn't say any blood was on the clothes, right?
There was blood on the clothes.
Gotcha. So you might have got a little blood on the clothes, put them up neatly, left. Him and his daughter. Because we said earlier, she called a lawyer pretty quick. After all that. So maybe it is a parent cop covering up for their daughter when they thought that it was a murder. And I bet you, because that happens all the time, we've had multiple cases here in Code 187 where the killer thinks they've killed their victim and they've gotten up multiple times. We had a victim who got shot in the face and shot somewhere else and got back up and was still trying to save his sister. So, that could have been one of those things. They thought she was dead, and the cop not being in a panic mode, not checking, not using his, doing his thing. And he made a quick decision, 25 minutes. Then you got to also think about that. He had to get there. So how close were they to being where they were going to go?
And, maybe when our witnesses showed up, the cop was like, we got it. We got it. Call 911, but we got it. We're good. And did stuff after that, hung the clothes, It's just weird. I think the theory that makes most sense to me was that she was ran over.
Yep.
But then that 25 minutes, you could really stage a lot.
Yep.
So what do y'all think? Because I can't anymore. I can't lose any more sleep.
You can sit here and ramble on about theories. That's one of the reasons why I like mystery cases. I like our murder cases where they just say, it kind of gives you some peace because it's like, here's the murder. This is how the victim, here's the murder. Here's how the victim is and their life and everything. And it's cut dry. Now we don't know anything. We've got evidence and we're trying to put the pieces back together. And
this is the cases that, I love. This is my bread and butter.
No. Like those unsolved, I listen to unsolved mysteries and I used to hate them. But on this show, I love it. I love the mystery. I love coming up with our theories, and it's just too much for our brains. So that's why we need you guys to comment. Tell us what you think about this, because my God, I would love to go on YouTube or Spotify or somewhere and just be like, you see a comment like, this is what I think. I'm like, okay, that's very interesting. Get another point of view on here. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to be dreaming. Like I'm about to take my little black book and put it by my bed. And then I'll wake up. What about Sarah? Remember that case we did last week? I came up with some other stuff, got it right here in my little book.
Yeah. This is one of those cases where you share with your friends. You're like, listen to this podcast. Yep. What the hell is going on? So definitely share this with everyone so that we can figure it out.
Listen, it is a story you can tell at a party. Hey, there's this girl, she got drunk at the party and this and this and this and this happened. What do you guys think? And then you guys can talk about that. They're going to tell you, man, either you're crazy or, wow, that's very interesting. Where you found that out? Oh, it was a case I heard on this podcast. So, yeah.
And if they think that you're crazy, you just come to us because we're your true crime best friends and we actually understand.
Yes.
Because I'm that girl at the party that's like, have you heard this theory about OJ? And people are like, stop.
See, we should do an episode on that because everybody knows about the case.
Oh.
I don't know too much.
Oh, I got you.
Stuff about the case. So
I already got it in the chamber. Just saying, it's locked and loaded.
I can't wait.
And yeah.
And are we gonna have one of those big things like in red letters? Did OJ do it?
Right, yeah.
That'll be our mystery thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, listen, my brain's all ran out. It's like a one of those fart pillows or whatever. When it's I need to air it back. I'm getting ready to go watch some nice happy cartoons to kind of just flush my brain out or listen to some comedy or something. Because I was getting all anxious during that case. I'm like, so
right.
Yeah.
Well, let me say my phrase now, my new phrase. So thank you guys for listening to Jaleayah's case, and I wish you all well, except for whoever did this, which we believe is Kristen and maybe some friends.
Yeah, her goddamn dad.
Right.
Well, guys, for now, I'm Joe, joined with Sarah, and this is Code 187, and we hope that you guys join us next week. So, for now, see you guys later. No, it don't sound right. Thank you guys for listening to Code 187. I gotta add that. I gotta do that last part. See you guys later.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like any of the content for Code 187, please click that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. Help us out, help us grow. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. Yeah, check us out on there. Give us some ratings. Tell us what you think. We're also across every social media on Code 187. So we're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it. And of course YouTube. So please, please, please subscribe if you like our content and spread the word. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.